Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Holton Talks. You're joined today by me, Scott, and Jamie. Jay, you okay?
No, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, fine. All good. We haven't done one for a couple of weeks, so we've got a little bit to talk about. And then Wednesday, we're back in competitive action for the first time since the Man City match, which, if we play
Nice,
like
easy game to come back
that,
to.
we'll be all right. Shall we start with PSG first, and then we'll get into a few questions for transfer talk?
Yep.
I think they've obviously come out today and kind of declared they've got everyone back fit and available. That's not to say that everyone's going to be fit and available to play without any pre-season, but what are we expecting from it on Wednesday?
I mean, we're going to be underdogs. I mean, they're probably the best team. Well, not probably. They are the best team in world football. The brand of football they play is of the modern sort of era, but they take to a whole new level. Their pressing is everything about them so good. Their only fault really is defensively, which hopefully we can exploit. Touching on their squad, I mean, they're not. It's a European final. They're not gonna say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna rest the World Cup boys." Like, it's just not gonna happen. So like we are, in the sense of everyone being available, that they're gonna be as well. You know, our World Cup boys will be in the squad as well. The only thing I will say is that they've played 2 friendlies, and they're so-called big hitters, which are really only the Portuguese boys. So then, Vitinha, João Neves, Nuno Mendes, they came on in their friendly against the United on the weekend, and they came on in the 61st minute. And apart from that, they played their kids. So all their big hitters, like all the, Doué, Dembele, Barcola, haven't played football, unless they've had a behind closed doors friendly, I'm not sure, but they haven't played football, so sharpness-wise, they'll be off it. Hakimi as well hasn't played. Like I said, Mendes, João Neves, Vitinha, they've only had half hour worth of football. And all the other ones were the ones that hadn't gone to the World Cup or got eliminated early, like Pacho, Marquinhos, Kvaratskhelia. Their goalkeeper, Safonov, he obviously didn't go, being Russian. So, it's weird because, they're at full strength in the sense of their squad, but a lot of their so-called big hitters, like ours with Watkins, Martinez, and Concert, they haven't played a minute in pre-season, and the ones that have played have had half hour. So don't get me wrong, we're still underdogs, but the only thing I think might come into our favour is how sharp our players will be. I mean, you look at Kamara, who's been out for half a year. He's had more pre-season game time than all the PSG boys. Like I said, they've literally had 2 friendlies. It's really weird. They've come back really late, and I don't know if this is normal under Enrique, because traditionally under Enrique they've been slow starters. I don't know if you remember when, not the season just gone, the season before, when they won the Champions League, they finished 12th, I think, in the Champions League group table. So they had to play the playoff round, which actually was against another French team, and they beat them like 8-1, I think, on aggregate. But they done that. I think they lost 2-0 at the Emirates as well that season in the group stage, and last season was the same. It took them a while to get going in the league. I think Lens and Marseille were kind of up there with them until eventually they pulled away. So, yeah, they are traditionally slow to get going. You look at Tottenham last year in the Super Cup final. It took, Tottenham were the much better team. I think they scored 2 goals past the 85th minute, I think it was, took it to penalties and won on penalties, and Tottenham deserved to win that game. So, if you look at our pre-season schedule, ideally you do the Warsaw game, probably go to Asia, and then filter out a few more, Sociedad, Mönchengladbach, and, you have these games after the Asia tour. But it looks like we've done the Warsaw game, we've done the Sociedad game, we've gone to Asia, got good amount of game time out there, and now we're back. We've had 5 games. So the only thing that's given me a slight bit of hope is the fact that we are a bit more ready and prepared than they are, in the sense of that we've had a lot more time to get the boys going.
Yeah, we're obviously, if you think about who we're missing, Martinez, Concert, and Ollie would be the main three. Now, listen, they're obviously the spine of your team, so ideally you'd want all three to play, but you'd imagine maybe Martinez, just because he's a goalkeeper, but I can't see Concert or Ollie playing at all on Wednesday or really being involved. Maybe they're on the bench and get a few minutes at the end, but like lineup wise, do you think we'll be going as strong as we can? Obviously, because we've obviously seen a few people miss certain games. The last friendly we didn't have, was it Barkley, Garnacho, and McGinn didn't play. So hopefully McGinn's fit to maybe start at least, and Garnacho you'd like to see properly, and Barkley. Not sure if he'll risk Kamara. It's obviously a bad injury that's coming back from. Although he's obviously getting minutes, you don't want to rush him back too soon.
Yeah, it's a bit early, isn't it?
How do you think we'll line up?
For me, off the top of my head, I'll probably go Bezo, Cash, Lindelof, Powell, Matson, João Gomez. I'd like to think Barkley. If not Barkley, it's either Bogard or Kamara. Again, with you, don't think he'd risk Bogard. Maybe Kamara. Maybe Kamara's one where he comes on, 55, 60 minutes gone. So I'd probably say João Gomez and Barkley if he's fit. And then Buendia probably take the 10 spot. If McGinn's fit, that's a massive bonus. Obviously, it's European final, so I'd imagine they'll try to push for it, hopefully. So I'm going to go with McGinn. Out on the left, again, I'd like to hope that Garnacho's, there. There hasn't been no murmurs of him picking up an injury. It's just that whack he got in the face. So I'm gonna say Garnacho, and the one up front is the one that worries me because you'd probably say Maggio with Watkins not being fully fit, sharpness wise. Tammy only just coming back from injury, but I have a feeling we're gonna play Gassond up front, and I think that's gonna haunt me. But hopefully not. I mean, I think Tammy's probably the best option. I can't remember how much game. I think he got half hour, was it, or 20 minutes against Bayern Munich?
Yeah, he looked quite sharp when he come on, to be fair.
Yeah. I'd be more optimistic if Tammy's on there, and then maybe Watkins gets a 30-minute run out at the end because Watkins still has that quality. So I'd like to see Tammy, but I have a feeling we're going to play Gassond up front as a 9. But yeah, who knows? But I'll probably, if I'm putting my money in, I'll probably say Gassond up front.
See, I don't think Gassond will be anywhere near it.
I mean, I hope you're right. I just have this weird feeling in me because he started the last 2 friendlies, I think. So so in my mind, I'm like, he's come back from the World Cup. He started every game, so I'm like,
I think he's just thought I'll give him a look.
Because he has played in central, isn't he? He has like a central 10 behind Maggio, hasn't he?
Purely like give him a look and give him a chance, which he hasn't taken, obviously. I think I agree with everyone that you said. It'd be nice to see Garnacho. Yeah, Buendia is a 10. I think if McGinn doesn't start, you'll probably see Hemmings play as that right 10.
That's probably another one as well, yeah, Hemmings.
And then I would have no issue Maggio starting, but I think Tammy can start then.
Well, Maggio ain't included in the squad, is he?
Well, they've got until tomorrow night to change it.
Yeah, he might do it late. I don't know. There might be a rule where you can only have a certain amount of... Because he don't even count as a homegrown player, which is mad.
Yeah.
So you might have... it's weird because like Bogard, who wasn't born in the country, counts as homegrown, and yet Maggio doesn't, who was born down the road. So it's a bit weird, but that's the only reason why I can think Maggio wasn't included.
I'd be shocked if they don't add him into it. Now that he's obviously the Court of Arbitration said he can play and whatnot, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, like I said, they got Tuesday midnight, isn't it? So
yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, so fingers crossed. I mean, we'll just touch on Maggio. We've had a few disagreements in our Villa group about what might happen this season with him. Me and you are obviously more on the same page, whereas the others kind of thought he might be ahead of Tammy in the pecking order, but realistically, he's not going to be, is he?
Nah, it's like I said, it's a football's all politics. You sign Tammy for 20 million and on 80 grand a week, he's gonna play. Do you know what I mean? The owners aren't gonna sit there and watch someone who's on 5 grand a week and some play when someone's on 80 grand a week and sit on the bench. So I think obviously Ollie's a clear favourite, and then behind that, you want to see Majo get game time. He's had a good pre-season, but all in all, you probably say Tammy still gets the nudge.
Yeah, Tammy has to. We're basing Majo on 5 games in pre-season. Yes, he's looked good.
And don't get me wrong, those games he's looked good. Even Bayern Munich, like his press, everything, like holding the ball up, like he looks good. I'm not saying he's not. How can I say, like he might do just as well as Tammy does. But what I'm saying is that there's a hierarchy, and at the minute he's at the bottom because that's just how it goes. If he comes on and does what Duran done a couple of years ago and makes a few sub appearances and scores a few goals, that can soon change. But yeah, it's for me. Yeah, I think Tammy's got that second spot at the minute.
Yeah, I agree. We just touched him as well. We actually had a question about Garnacho from Clarky 556677.
55667.
The question: Garnacho or Elliott? Now I'm going to kind of perceive that as, were we happier with Garnacho coming in this season or Elliott coming in last season?
I'll tell you what, I'll throw it to you, Scott. What do you think?
I was buzzing with Elliott at the time. Obviously, it didn't work out. I'm also not against Garnacho. I know we touched on it last time. I think he's getting a lot of hate. There's a lot of reels going around of the friendly where he played a few dodgy passes, or maybe the other players weren't his wavelength. But listen, early days, I'll give anyone a chance, and he needs just Villa's support, and I think it was a good signing. So I'm happy with Garnacho.
He'd get that from the Villa fans, though. He'd get the support from the Villa fans. Like I said, Dion Dublin said it best: as long as you try, Villa fans will love you. Like you
That's
look
what
at
I mean. I'd like to see him Wednesday for that reason. Actually, try and get some minutes.
This is the thing. Like you see all those memes and stuff on Twitter and that about that pass, but what they don't show you is his tracking back. Like he was really good off the ball all game. So it's like, it's the same thing when Rashford came. Like I remember when Rashford came on against Tottenham in the FA Cup. I think it was 1-on-1 against Danzo, and he was running towards it, and he couldn't even get a shot off, and he ended up actually taking out Danzo, and people are like, oh my god, he's so finished, and it's like, look what he went on to do. Like it's just, these guys are people that go on Twitter, have never been to a game before, and they just follow the trend. And Garnacho is one of the most hated players in world football, and Rashford, when he came to us, no one liked him, and this is what it is. I don't like the heat that Garnacho is getting. I don't know if it's as bad as what Rashford was getting, but yeah, it's you have a lot of people rooting against him, but Emery's the master at kind of rejuvenating people's careers. So if it's anyone that can kind of get him going, it's definitely Emery, and he suits our style to a T. I think Elliott was profile-wise, you think, okay, like narrow off as a number 10 playing off a striker, it works well. But people, like I understood where, I think it was Emery, where he said after the Sunderland game or the Brentford in the Cup where he scored, he said he rushes things. And there were so many times where he'd get it and he'll just get it, put his head down and whip a ball into the box. And to the fan, it's like, oh yeah, he's actually trying. But if you look, that's not really our game. Like we're trying to work around the box, and he'll get it, and like we're trying to cross it in there when you've got like one player in there against fucking 3 centre halves, and it's like it's I could see where Villa were coming from in that sort of in that way. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, I can see why Elliott that didn't work out, and I can see why. Again, fans can compare because there's very similar in the sense that there's small appearance fees and stuff, but now for me, Garnacho fits us a lot better. He's exactly what we need: Champions League experience, Prem experience, fast, pacey winger that gives us width on the opposite side to what Guinea does. We've never had that before, so
Yeah, something that we've been crying out for ages.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I'll segue into another question because you just brought up Emery. Kev from Crawley said, we've had a question like this similar over the years, but how long does Emery stay when his hands are tired?
Yeah, it's a good question, Kev from Crawley. I'm quite optimistic. I'm quite optimistic in the sense that I look at the long-term picture and what it takes for us to truly kind of get closer to the top six. And we've done the thing with winning the trophy now. It's more so revenue because, you fix the revenue problem and we can spend a lot more like they do.
Yeah.
And that requires, if we can get back-to-back Champions League finishes, for example, that starts bridging that gap a lot. So my worry is that, for example, if we get out of Europe for 2 years, or we, again, we get Champions League and then we're in the Conference League and then we're in the Europa League, then Conference League, and then we get Champions League, like, he's that level above us. He can manage the very elite clubs in the world. So my worry is if we fall off, which I don't think we will because we have him anyway, but if we fall off to the point of not qualifying for Europe, he's been in Europe for like 17 years now straight.
Yeah.
If we don't get European football, and that's where I'd probably worry. But for now, I think I'm fine. He has the keys to the kingdom. Nothing's gonna. He came out of that interview in the summer and said, someone asked him about the Real Madrid job, and he was like, every day he gets asked about, like, he get his higher ups are getting phone calls about, oh yeah, Emery wants to come here. Can he come here? Can he come here? And he says, all I care about is Villa right now. And one day will come when he leaves, but I'm hoping that when he leaves, it's in another, 10 years, when out of the 10 years we have qualified for the Champions League maybe 6 or 7 times, and we have bridged that gap to the point where we can spend and we can appoint a manager of maybe slightly less caliber than Emery or similar caliber. Because if he was to leave now, God knows who would get in. It's nowhere near his level. But if he was to go, then maybe we could attract I don't even know, just hypothetically speaking, like not a Klopp, because we're not at that level yet either, but just someone of that elite sort of category, like if it went tits up at Barcelona for Hansi Flick. Yeah, like if it didn't work out for Hansi Flick at Barcelona, like maybe he'd think about that. Or if Tuchel leaves the England job, we get, because I remember we were linked with him before Emery, and he kind of diminished it straight away. Like, I'd imagine to think that if it was in a few years' time, we maybe won a couple more trophies and qualify for Champions League, other people might consider it. So for now, I'm not worried. Like I said, it's just if we drop out of Europe where it's a bit tricky.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It would be a worry, but I think if there was ever a time he'd go, then this summer with so many managerial changes, would have been a prime opportunity for a big club over here to snap him up, and obviously they haven't. So good for news for us. Another question from Kev: where are we strong and weak at the moment? Now we obviously need to probably sign another attacker, a midfielder, and a defender, I'd say.
Yeah.
Where do you think we're weak and strong?
I'd probably say we could do with another right winger, someone to help McGinn out. We don't know what Alisson's like. He's so flaky with his injuries, so he could drop at any point. If he stays fit, then I don't really worry too much for the right hand side because I like what I see from him.
And
but for now, I would.
Maybe.
What's that? Sorry.
And Hemmings might step up and do a job there.
Yeah, like Hemmings, he played on the right against Bayern Munich, but he does look better on the left. So if we're going into the season with, say, another right winger and Hemmings and Garnacho on the left, I wouldn't be too disappointed because, again, Manzambi can play out there. So can Buendia as well. So we do have versatile players, which Emery likes. I would, right now speaking, a left back, which we're obviously hoping to sign Ruggieri. So a left back. Right now, speaking of right back, and probably another holding midfielder. I think we were talking in last week, Scotty, about maybe like a possible loan signing for a number 10. just to give us that extra bit of. You don't know what Manzambi's going to be like. I've always looked at Manzambi as more like an 8, like a box to box. So I don't know if he might fulfil that off the striker role. I'm not sure. So if you have Buendia and maybe someone on loan of, like the Asensio type player, if you get someone like Asensio and then you get a holding midfielder, right winger and a left back, I'd be more than happy. I mean, that's 4 players in the space of I don't know how long we got left of the window. 20 days.
3 weeks.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot to get done. I mean, hopefully, the Paulinho talks have kind of heated up again. Where do you think we need to kind of improve?
Well, a couple of other questions that we had was Tony said, "What else do we need?" And Rob said, "If we sign Ruggieri and Paulinho and somehow pull off Endrick, which we'll come on to, do we need another attacker or are we done?" Now, I think you might see 3, maybe 4, including Ruggieri.
Yeah. If Ruggieri signs and then
Paulinho as cover and then maybe another attacker, I think that we may be done there.
If we got Ruggieri, Paulinho, and then another attacker, you're probably right, because again we're not going to get an out-and-out 9. If it is Endrick can play as a 9 or on the right wing. So again, he's versatile. So yeah, definitely a versatile attacker, a holding midfielder, and a left back. I think that's probably what would get done. Hopefully, anyway, because again, that sort of versatile attacker, that could be someone that fills in the 10 spot and the right wing spot, so you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. But yeah, touching on the Endrick one, I personally don't see it happening, but if it was to happen, I don't know what the hell's going to happen with our striking department, because we'll have 4 strikers then, and then you have including him in the right wing conversation as well, because he's going to want to come and play. So he's not going to take McGinn has to play. Watkins, like for me right now, Watkins has to play. It's not like we've got a Duran or a Rashford to kind of take that. And as a 9, I probably prefer Watkins to Endrick. So it's weird. I don't really know where he would fit in, because he's better as a 9 than a right winger. I know he played a lot as right winger at Lyon as well, but yeah, it's going to be tough to see if it does happen where we fit him in.
We need another attacking player, don't we?
It's just he's not going to come and sit on the bench. Like he's going to come and expect to play.
No, one that's versatile, which he does give you a bit of versatility.
Yeah.
Now, if you had said this to me like 5 years ago, you just laughed. But we have pulled a rabbit out of the hat every transfer. Well, seems to be every transfer window, every other transfer window with a Rashford, Asensio. You could probably put Sancho in that bracket last season. I personally don't think it will either. But if it was to happen, I've seen a few things today like we shouldn't be making Real Madrid players better. Well, that's the biggest waffle ever. At the end of the day, if he makes us better this year, then that's only a positive for us. We're still working in restraints in terms of PSR or SDR. So we got to box clever. If he was to come in and he's the difference between us getting Champions League and not, it's a no-brainer, really. But you are right. There's a lot to do and not a lot of time now. I think hopefully Ruggieri will get done this week. Paulinho, if that does hot up, that will hopefully get done, and then I reckon we've got 1 more in us, maybe 2, if they look at a right fullback. I did think for a minute they might keep Costa Nedeljkovic around, but a few links to him going to Rangers today, so maybe they won't. But pretty good pre-season as well.
If he was to be back up to Cash, I'd be okay. I still don't think he'd get the nod if Cash got injured. I think they'd probably play Bogard or move Esri or even Lindelof out there ahead of Costa.
But you'd probably keep him around, saying that's the last place we need to make.
If you have a pecking order for how good Cash has been in the last year to 18 months, you look at right back and you think that was the top one, but now you're thinking, you know what, left back's more of a priority. getting another holding midfielder, getting another with obviously Kamara and Barkley's record with injuries, getting another right winger in or number 10 in. I think that ranks above the right back situation, which is actually quite refreshing to be in, because every season is who's going to replace Cash, whereas this year it's kind of been like who's going to be back up to Cash, and you know what I mean?
Cash has nailed it down really now. He's one of our most important players really.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
Well, give me a little prediction for Wednesday then.
Oh God.
Birthday present for you.
Yeah, it's either going to be a cricket score or it's going to be like a sneaky 1-0. I think be a bit long-winded. Yeah, I think we're going to be like 1-0 down, and then the sharpness that we've had over pre-season, over them only having 2 games, and all their academy players playing, will kick in from like 60 minutes onwards, and they're going to bring on players that ain't played any minutes of football, no matter how good they are, and we're going to bring on some players that have actually played a bit, and that's what we're going to take over. And I reckon take it to pens, sub Bezo off in the last minute, put Emmy on. He'll do what the Millwall goalie done, so save all 4, and then we'll win.
I think, listen, from a Villa perspective, it's a chance for João Gomez to like really set a standard and make a big performance. Garnacho, first, if he does play, first time all eyes will be on him. A lot of people who are watching it first competitive going back. Same would apply for Madjo if he does get added to the squad. So I think we need to go and make a bit of a statement. And listen, you are playing the best team in the world, best league side in the world, so it won't be easy. But we've got fighters. We pushed them before, so I think if we can stay in the game, like you said, later on, we might take the advantage. But just be nice to see Villa back in action and obviously rocking the 3rd kit.
What do you think, Scotty, the score will be?
I'll go 2-1 Villa.
Yeah, see, I can never go Villa to lose. So, what's your take on the Super League? Because I was listening to a podcast on the way home, and they were saying that's a glorified friendly, and I'm like, I don't know. Like for me, like it's on the wall. I don't know if you've seen it.
It's got a bit more than that on it.
Yeah, like
the only thing is that it's weird playing a friendly after. Maybe it should be
yeah. I think they've changed it, because it used to be like a couple of games into the season where people were fully fit. That is weird. But all I'd say is that our Super Cup win is on the wall in Bodymore Heath, and it's like it's not a glory. Like if we won, like people today still talk about the European Super Cup win against Barcelona over 2 legs, and it's like it's. Like,
it shouldn't be belittled. I think that with the
No,
charity.
absolutely not. And it's like it's a good spectacle. Like the template of it, you got the winner of the Champions League versus the winner of the Europa League. It's like it's a good spectacle. And for me, like I'll be disappointed if like we don't win it. Obviously, well, I know we're not expected to win it, but if we don't win it, I'm not like it's a semi-free hit, but I'll still be like, that was another opportunity for a trophy. Do you know what I mean? Because then.
If you think Palace last season, they were like, we won 3 trophies in the last 12 months, because that was including Charity Shield, which rightfully so. So if you're a Villa and you win it, you can say, right, we won 2 trophies in the last 12 months.
And this is it. And it gets added to the wall, and we can say, when people bring up that stupid debate of us or Spurs for the Big 6, you can say, okay, well, European titles wise, we've got Champions League, Europa League, and 2 European Super Cups. And it's like, like for me,
for the new players, it would be good, because they're coming in as one. They've added to it.
Yeah,
it's only a positive if you win it, and I don't think it should be belittled at all. But
I don't think it determines your season. Like if we lose, it doesn't mean we're going to have a failure of a season. If we win, it doesn't mean we're then going to go win the FA Cup. Like, but what I'm saying is that like if we win the European Super Cup, we'll look back on it in 30, 40 years' time, and we're going to be like, it's. Do you remember when we were like half fit and we beat the best team in the world? And it's like, for me, I love the European Super Cup. I watch the European Super Cup every year because, again, it's a good spectacle. And you get, I know we've been a bit torn apart in the summer, and we're not expected to win it. We could get beat 5-0 for all I know. But the spectacle of it, and if we were to win it, Villa fans will be buzzing, and no one will then be saying it's a glorified friendly.
Like, we could also win it 5-0. and then we'd be absolutely buzzing.
Well, this is it. And like for me, I love the European Super Cup. I don't think people put enough weight on it. It's a major trophy in my eyes. It goes down in the history books. People don't care about it too much, but for me, I'd rather win it than a lot of trophies. To be fair.
No, like I said, I think the Charity Shield's in a similar boat now. I remember that being like the curtain raiser to the season, and now for whatever reason it seems to be.
Yeah, like if we won the Community, because there's literally no it's because it's called the Community Shield. What it is like they call it like the German Super Cup. Like the Community Shield is the English Super Cup, but it's just because it's called the Community Shield.
Yeah.
If it was called
in different countries, it's got a bit more meaning to it.
Yeah, like if it was called something different, then it would be totally different. But because it doesn't, like it's like the Super Coppa Italia, like it's because it's called the Community Shield. Like I said, if it was called the English Super Cup and it's been like that for hundreds of years, people would look at it in a different light. Like I said, like the European Super Cup, it sounds fancy. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, I'll be absolutely buzzing if we win it.
Yeah, me too, 100%. Well, let's hope we do, eh? Right, that'll do us. We'll have to do our season prediction episode next week because obviously it's not too long away now, 2 weeks to go. So countdown on to Brighton away, and obviously the first time game against Arsenal. So league prediction video next week, and yeah, all three of us maybe get a guest on for that one, but we'll wrap it up there, and hopefully by the time we come on, we've had a couple more signings at least, and won the Super Cup.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for jumping on, and we'll see you all very soon. And up the Villa from me.
Up the Villa.